first of 5, possibly fairly short actually, battle reports from the Alicante competition. In fact, that would be short. There are actually 6 of them now, I remember. And here's some of my Swiss halberdiers just to, yeah, God, they look a bit rough, don't they, in super close up, but they do look fine from tabletop distances. So let's, without further ado, look at the army that I was using. So this was the 200-point version of the 220-point Swiss army, which I'd previously won the warfare competition at just a few months before. The difference to the 220, well, just looking at the big picture, this is really all about 3 big blocks of pikemen. This one's a block of 5 pikemen, mostly elites. There's another block of 4 there, and then there's 2 here with 3 halberdiers to give this command the ability to go into some terrain. You'll see that this first command also has a halberdier, so that can either sort of vaguely do stuff on the other flank, or all 4 of them can operate together. Now, the difference between this and the 220-point version, which was super effective, was that the camp wasn't fortified. That is a 6-point drop, and it's a one unit drop from the 220-point version. Nobody really ever got close to the camp, I think, in the 5 games I played at 220, and it's an easy thing to take out without disrupting the frontal fighting power of the army. The other bit that's missing is 1 ordinary pikeman. I think the version at 220 had 3 ordinary pikemen there and 2, so really you've only lost 1 fighting frontage, 1 ordinary pikeman, so you're still 3, 4, 5, the halberdier is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You've still got a frontage of 15 as opposed to 16, which isn't that much. And then the really kind of scary ballsy bit is to stick the brilliant general included. My theory was, if you've got a brilliant general in a pike unit surrounded by 2 other elite pike units, he's not going to die, and it just makes it a bit more hairy and a bit more fun. So that was the theory. And in the first game, I found myself up against a Serbian army, and this was that Serbian army.
This means war.
And here they go. A pretty unsubtle Serbian army, only the medium knights rather than the heavy knights. You've got 5 impetuous, it's 10 impetuous knights really, and a couple of supporting infantry, a couple of bowmen. This final command was actually hidden in an ambush behind I think it might have been a rough hill, or possibly even a difficult hill, which did threaten to catch me out for a bit. Small enough to send on a flank march, but really you're trying to assume there that 10 impetuous elite knights, or no, in fact not even elite, only one of them was elite, 10 impetuous knights is going to do the business, which against the Swiss, that's a pretty big ask for them to do. So here's the initial setup. I think the ambush is over here on this side, so you can see the crossbowmen and the infantry on the left, and just a big old wall of knights, and I'm opposing them with a big old wall of pikemen. So there's not too many ways this can go. It looks like I've got a waterway down. I've tucked the baggage in here as well, so it's just going to be pretty much a straightforward attack. Over here there must have been some, maybe I missed them off the list actually. Yep, I think no, there they go. The light horse bow on that one were hiding in a wooded forest, which is a little bit tricky because it does mean to fit into the forest, which they just about do. That means they're 3 wide, and we possibly might actually pin them in the forest. These pikemen can probably be spared. I've still got, with that one, I've still got 10 over here to try and pin them in there and cause them a whole load of trouble. So the 2 armies advance together. The pikes advance in a completely solid line. All these light horse try and squirt out the way because they're in sort of trouble over here. Yep, you can see they've been sort of chased out by the halberdiers by now. Some of the Serbs come forward, some of them don't, and that's that ambush that's appeared beyond the end of my line really. I was thinking that these halberdiers, these polearm guys, wouldn't be able to do much, but suddenly there's some scary cavalry there, which does rather worry my other couple of halberdiers over on that side. But really I just want to get engaged in this fight in the middle. Oh, bit of a blur. And as you can see here, these Serbs have suddenly turned and decided to try and go away. Quite a difficult maneuver to execute, but I'm going to catch them at some point. And here comes this little pseudo flank march that's jumped off from behind a hill to threaten the end of this. And I'm going to have to feed some of these medium swordsmen, medium polearm guys into it, which just to slow it down, which is not great. So it does actually put a bit of pressure on winning this combat quickly. And the lights here, my infantry have come through the wood, chased them through the wood. We've got the opportunity to stop them evading by sitting behind them and catch some of them in combat. And let's see how that goes. Clearly not as well as it should do. And bosh, there you go. We've caught some of them. The halberdiers have pushed through the woods as well and caught some as well. So there's some attrition really on the Serbian army immediately through an over clever, I think, attempt to ambush with light horse in a wood. Maybe in a plantation they'd be okay, but they probably need something else. But that was a lot of light horse to try and do a clever thing, and all it took was just a couple of infantry and these elite handgunners to sort that out. And suddenly the end of this line of the Serbs, who've now turned about, ready to fight, looks a bit scary. Here comes the cavalry and the knights in the flank march. I'm just sort of feeding some of these polearm guys into it. They're wildly outnumbered, but I want to try and win here before anything can happen with this one. And the Serbs decide this is what they do. They are impetuous. It's very difficult for them to stay in control all the time. And my pikes are just going to push past the end of them anyway. These halberdiers are. So they might as well go in, which is what they've decided to do. Give it a go. And let's see how these first rounds of combat happen. Well, not as bad as it could be for the Serbs. There's a few, that looks like a 2-hit marker. There's a few 1-hit markers in there. But there is still more pikemen coming in. There's more handgunners. The handgunners are presumably raced in. This may be the pikes taking the initiative here. And the handgunners going in there to neutralize the impact bonus of this guy on the end, the commander, and really try and push down at him and just take these guys on. There's a couple of hits on that pikeman, but not too many. Over here, my first sort of thrown away polearm guy has clearly been run over by the knights, but the polearm general has just gone straight through the heavy infantry polearms over there and onto the flank of the knights. So he's now looking pretty exposed, but this is going to hopefully keep these guys out of the way for a while. Over here, you can now see all these yellow markers sprouting. There's 1, 2 gone already here. That's the general gone for these Serbs. So this part of the Serbian army has just been crushed, completely trapped without its light horse to help it. That's allowed these guys to do the edge, and the pikemen are chewing into that. There's a bit of damage going on in there. It looks like the cavalry may have got through my general and into this thing. And let's see over here. So he's been hit in the flank by these polearm guys and just shrugged them off because he's hard as nails, really. He's done some very good dicing. He is elite. He has got a general. Being conformed to in the flank is maybe not so bad. They're trying their best to try and deal with him. And it does allow the cavalry to get into the flank of my pikeman, but he's doing sterling work there. And slightly blurry one, you can see a couple of hits there on the pikeman. They're coming through. Bosh, he's just blown away the guys fighting him with some, again, great heroics. This is what the Swiss did in the warfare competition as well. Big problems for everyone, maybe some hits behind. And these knights are a little bit becalmed while the rest of the line just gets very chewed up. Here you see that right hand flank has now just completely evaporated. There's just nothing left there as the Swiss pile forwards in serious numbers to try and shove some of these cavalry off table and push this game to a victory. And that was it. That's how it ended. That was a very quick and straightforward victory against a line up and charge Serbian army for the Swiss.
This means war.